Hello and welcome to the MegaMonsterCast. For today, we are talking about episode 5 of Tengoku Daimakyo, also known as Heavenly Delusions. I am Nick. With me is Josh,
Hello.
and we're watching episode 5. I feel like there's a lot of setup in this episode. Uh, Like,
Yes.
there's some interesting stuff, but it's a lot of like setting up what's going to happen with Maru and Kikuru. And then there's a lot of setup with um, the academy. There's a lot where it's them setting up what's going to happen moving forward. I think. Like obviously we got uh, the whole funeral thing and the reveal at the end. Um, and we've kind of got the setup for where Maru and Kikuru are going to be going. Again, there's a lot where it feels like this episode is setting up probably like the next like 2 or 3 episodes on like what they're going to be doing.
Yes, but not so much for the next episode.
Okay, fair enough.
The next episode's more character oriented.
Okay, fair enough. Um, so our official action starts with Maru at a uh, a fucking arcade
Arcade.
playing a game, and a gang shows up to start shit with him, and he's like just being mopey as fuck because he's like,
A
do you
horny
ever have
kid.
you ever had the hots for a girl and it turns out she has a man's brain? I didn't think so.
Oh god.
And then he just kicks their asses.
Well, I
Like,
mean, to be fair, he was going to apologize for the first punch, but they
yeah.
did kick a tooth out.
Yeah. I mean, it
And then he goes animalistic on their ass.
oh dude. And like so we don't know for sure what Mar at this point we don't know for sure what Maru like can do. We know that he obviously has the whole like Maru touch thing, but this kid's also got to have like some sort of like heightened like strength and agility too, because Jesus fuck.
This, like, it's not much, but this episode and next episode, there's some very subtle foreshadowing of
Mhm.
what's about to happen in like the last episode.
Okay. I mean, again, like just based off of what I'm seeing in this episode, like Maru, again, we've known from like what episode 2 that Maru has like some sort of like supernatural, probably genetically modified ability, but this is like showing that he's clearly like he takes on this gang by himself and he does fine. He gets a little hurt and that's about it.
Yeah. Like Kikaru comes in and just curb stomps the guy.
Hmm. Yeah, so we get that. Um, and Kikuru's obviously like a little bit concerned because they broke his fucking Maru's fucking tooth out, which I mean, justifiably nervous on that one. Uh, and then we cut to them hanging out in a dilapidated apartment building, and we get a little more on Maru's backstory, and that he was with a woman who. One second, let me move back. I skipped ahead a little too far. That he lived in like some sort of school with like a bunch of other orphans, and eventually that place was shut down, and they didn't have a home. So he went and
Joined a
was,
gang.
yeah, basically like joined a gang. And the leader of the gang, if I'm remembering right, is the one who taught him how to use his ability. Was it the leader
Uh,
or was it the person after? I'm trying to
it was
remember.
the person after.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the person after he left the gang taught
It
him how to
was
use his
the
ability.
yeah, it was the woman that taught him.
Yep. And Kikuru's like, I mean, did you have the hots for her? Which weird thing to say considering you're trying to like imply you're not into Maru. Like this is very coded on you being into him.
They can feel however they want.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so he talks about like they traveled with what was her name? Miruko?
Mirko.
Mikura. He traveled around Japan with her and he didn't really know where they went. Like he like she mentioned like places, but he didn't really keep track of that and he didn't get how big Japan was at the time. So it didn't like none of it mattered to him. It didn't make any sense. And Kikuru's like, well, this is probably important. That's why I keep having you repeat this stuff in case you remember anything else. And then Maru's like, hey, there's a bunch of books next door. Are you gonna like we could probably sell those? And Kikuru's like, I'm one step ahead of you, fucker. They're all anything worth selling's already in this backpack.
And everything that's not, I've already taken the knowledge and I'm going to burn them.
Yep.
Because knowledge is power.
Yep, except for this one pornography magazine. That I'm gonna leave next door so you can have more of a sexual awakening.
Well, I mean, Kirikou also wanted it.
Mm, yeah. Yeah.
Maru wasn't supposed to find it.
Hmm. So the gang they ran into is going around town trying to figure out where Maru is because they want to fuck him up some more. And we get a little more on like Robin from the past, if I'm remembering right. Like this is a flashback again, right? To Robin talking about how like they're gonna rebuild society.
Yeah.
And obviously not clearly didn't work out. I forgot to mention, and this is
No.
probably important. This is probably important, but I forgot to mention it. Um, they Maru mentions that supposedly he was born the year of like the big disaster that caused humanity to be in this post-apocalyptic world. So whatever sort of like
Yes.
apocalyptic disaster happened, he was born the year it happened. I imagine that's pretty important.
It's fairly important.
Hmm. I mean, considering he's got weird sci-fi supernatural powers, and he was born the year the catastrophe happened.
No longer like Year of the Dragon, Year of the Pig, Year of the Monkey.
Yep.
It's Year of the Catastrophe.
Yep.
Fucked up year.
Yep. So Kikuru goes back to the apartment after like bouncing around town a little bit. She can't find Maru anywhere. She starts freaking out. Maru comes out of the apartment next to the one they've been staying in and is like, you told me to hide, so I fucking hid, okay? Why are you freaking out? Why'd you hide in that room? So I was jerking it, okay? I didn't want
Oh,
people to find me doing that.
what happens if you would have walked in on it?
Yep.
What would you think? I'm a slob?
And then they
Well, you
hug
were very
immediate.
messy.
Then he hugs her post jorking it session.
Is
Yep.
that hair gel?
Yep. Oh God,
uh,
fucking awful.
there's going to be a lot of people that watch this that don't understand that reference now.
Hmm.
That's
Uh,
sad.
yeah. Then we get like a whole thing about like, oh, humans had too much time on their hands, so they started watching other people, and that's why we fucking collapsed as a civilization, or some bullshit to that. At least that's what Maru puts forward, and Kikuru's like, that sounds like it's made up, but okay.
That's some bullshit.
Yep. Uh, we also get another little thing that sounds interesting, which is Maru mentions that like, oh, if heaven existed before the disaster, then I'd have to like fucking time travel or some shit. I'm wondering if time travel is gonna be a part of this show too. It's all gonna be one big old fucking time loop. He's gonna go back and start all this shit.
He's going to end at the end of the world. He's going to become God, and
Yep.
then a reboot happens.
Yep. Then we cut to the weird freaky babies. Um,
Oh, the squid babies.
yeah. I still say that they're just the slugs for these kids. Like based on the fact that they've got just a shit ton of these like lying around in these fucking things, and we've seen what's her name, Mina? Is that her name? Is that
Which
the
one?
robot lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We see Mina, and we see images of a baby inside of a mechanical womb that
Oh.
Kona, right? That's his name, Drew, the artist
The
boy.
drawer?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm still saying that those little squid babies are just what these kids are, because they all have weird, freaky powers too. I'm saying they're clone babies. They're baby clones. They're
Not
grown out of
baby.
squids.
You'll find out episode 13
Yep. What we
or
do
sooner.
find, yeah, what we do find out though is that inside of the baby room, there's a footprint on the wall. So the scientist is like, ah, shit, someone's been in here.
Yeah, this guy's gotta go.
Yep.
We gotta end him.
And then we get a dance scene.
Yeah, interpretive dance to make you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, this way,
That was really white of me.
yes, it was. But they're all dancing around, and then we get Taka trying to lift a rock. And he talks about how apparently Taro,
Hmm.
the boy who is extremely sick and dead in this episode, back when he
Oh,
was
yeah, he's
feeling
better
good,
now.
yeah, when he was feeling good, he could like apparently pick up that rock and throw it across the yard. So he had some sort of super strength. And so Taka wants to prove that he can do it too, but he clearly can't.
Yeah, he can
Anyway,
only do the flips and shit.
yep. Cut to Taro dying, and everyone seems real sad about it.
Yeah,
Yep, and they have a
there's
funeral.
one character that's probably a lot sadder than the rest.
Tokyo, probably. She looks like she's fucking
Nope.
way sadder.
Oh no.
Oh, is it the one crying girl, the one with the long hair, the
Director.
the sticky girl?
No, the director.
That's fair.
The one in the wheelchair.
Yeah, she also seems very upset.
Oh yeah.
And apparently this is
Keep
not
that
the
in mind.
well, apparently this is also not the first kid that's died here. That
No, there's been a couple others.
I mean, we see
Osana.
one. we saw one hung themselves, so there's been at least a couple deaths. And apparently, I think Kono was the one that found the one where the person hung themselves.
Yes.
Ashura, that's her name,
Mm-hmm.
or his name. I don't.
It was her.
Okay. I assumed it was her because of the way she was dressed, but I didn't know for sure.
Well, now that's one thing. I can't bring that up yet. Never mind.
Okay. But yeah, so then Mina and the director talk a little bit. Everyone's real sad. They specifically say this is the second death among the children. So Taro is the second one that's died. Ashura was the
Yeah.
first one. And Ashura apparently um, was born too smart. Like apparently that was a body that couldn't handle the brain or something to
Yes.
that degree. So like hyper intelligent, probably figured out this place was evil to some extent and hung herself.
Yeah. She was definitely big braining it.
Yeah, so they're gonna bury Taro next to Ashura, and we find out that this illness that Taro got apparently all of these kids could hypothetically get it. So they need to try to figure out what it was and try to cure it. And then we get Tokyo puking.
What could it mean?
It means she's preggers. No, she's worried that she might be like getting sick like Taro. And then we cut back over to Maru and Kikaru talking about how they got like a map that shows the various water systems and how each like the rating like oh this one is like this level of safe, this one tastes better, and they find a spot where it has apparently 100% safe water. And Maru's like, well, that's got to be heaven, right? Heaven would have like the safest water to drink, so we got to go there. And
I mean, it makes sense.
yeah, and then we get a knock at the door, and it's one of the sailors that she was with, and he wants to go to a place where there's an organization that can give you the immortal order, where if you bring them a part of a man eater, they can graft it onto your body and give you immortality, which sounds great, but sounds like it's going to be a fucking real dumb time. But he managed to get a man eater parts. Well, he thought he had like a solid working man eater part. When he opens it, when he gets the thing out, it's just kind of like dissolved inside of this liquid. There's only like
The goop.
chunks around. He's like, ah, shit, man, that was my way to immortality. Starts fucking just crying, and Kikuru's like, I mean, we'll get you another one. Like, let's go there, I guess. Here's some money. Tell me more about this order. And you can use the money to buy a part so you can become immortal and live forever. And then they go off to the clean water zone. Well, the immortal order and then clean water zone, I think, is what he specifically says.
Yeah.
And on the map, apparently, the immortal order is marked with just the words strange people. So my thought process on this is the immortal order is claiming they can use man-eater parts to extend your life. So I'm wondering if they have something to do with this academy and like the academy. makes the man eaters. I'm like very certain of that, given the way the weird babies look. Like
Okay.
maybe like if the baby works out, they become a man eat. They become one of the kids. If it doesn't work out, they become a man eater. And like maybe some rogue scientists from the academy went off and started using like the man eater parts to like extend their lives or like enhance themselves, and they're offering it to other people as well.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Like it's weird that they're like that there's a group built around the man eater parts. Anyway though, episode ends with something's happened to Taro's body. It looks like it's disintegrated like the man eater part. And what's left behind is this weird like core blob thing, like the ones inside of the man eaters. Because I think, if I'm remembering right, we see one that looks like this get destroyed by Maru when he destroys
Yeah,
that first man eater.
correct.
So Taro had a core like that, which lends credence to my idea that the the man eaters are the failed version of the kids, and that they're all somehow connected, that the like the way that his body disintegrated the exact same way that the man eater part body disintegrated, the way that the two, like both of them had a core that looked the same. It's all got to be connected. I'm saying it right now. Like some sort of failure occurs, and that's where the man eaters come in. And they all come from like that same squid baby thing that is gestated by Mina or something. I don't know.
That's a that's a hell of a theory.
I mean, there's a
And
lot
I
of
wish I could say yes or no.
yeah, there's a lot in this episode that leads me to believe that. The fact that they disintegrate the same way, the fact that we see that Taro had a core just like the man eaters do, and the fact that there's an organization that's claiming to use man-eater parts to extend life. Like there's something at play here. I think the doctor at this place, maybe it's the same doctor that they're going at that Kikuru's going after, but I don't think so. I think this is probably going to be like a rogue scientist from the academy.
All I'm gonna say is you are heading in a very specific direction that may or may not have a lot of things correct or
Okay. I mean, I
backwards
feel
to say.
that's fair. I feel at least somewhat confident that there's a connection there between the like again like Kona's drawings too,
Hmm.
and like all these other elements lead me to believe that that's the case. Like the man eaters and these kids are connected, and the academy's related to both of them. And if there's a science, I mean, again, the scientist thing, like the immortal order, could just be bullshit. But considering how little, like how short this season is, I don't think they would waste time on like a red herring. I think this is going to have something related to them. So, I mean, like maybe, but we've already kind of wasted a little time on the red herring of Tomato Heaven. I don't think we're going to get like a ton of those in one season.
Tomato Heaven is not really a red herring,
Okay.
and there's a reason for that. And I can't remember exactly if it comes up again. but I can explain it at the end.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, that was the episode. Any final things you want to say, Josh?
No, you're really close. You're
Okay.
getting pretty close to a lot of things. I'm really happy. Um, get ready for the bear.
All right. Apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio is getting raped next episode. That's a reference to a movie from like 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a reference.
yep. Tune in next time. Bye bye.
Bye.